chưa?
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to Vietnam News Agency interview.
Thank you very much.
Baroness Fairhead, Minister of State. So, what's your assessment of Vietnam business environment recently?
Okay.
And if you think it's improved, could you highlight some specific cases?
Okay. Well, I think the answer, very straightforward, is absolutely yes. If you look at your growth rate, 6-7% is one of the highest of countries in the world. So I think that's one sign. I also recently saw a PwC report which thought that Vietnam would be one of the top 20 countries in the world in 20 years' time if they continue this rate of progress. One of the key areas that I think your government's commitment has been on improving governance, in improving the business environment generally, is having a really positive effect. And I think that's been acknowledged in your improvement up the ease of doing business register, where you have grown the last couple of years 23 places to now number 68 in the world. Just to give you a target, the UK is number 7, so let's try and get there together. In terms of the growth of trade between our two nations, that's positive too. That's part of the reason I'm here. But if I look at the growth, Vietnam has been exporting increasing numbers of goods and services to our country of the order of $6 billion. And UK, and that's grew, I think, in the last couple of years over 30%, so huge growth. And I think trade has to go two ways. In the UK, our exports to you has grown a smaller number to $1 billion or so, growing at around 20%. And if I look at it from an investment point of view, the amount of foreign direct investment by our companies into Vietnam has doubled in the last year. So I think those are specific examples why you're definitely on the right track.
Yeah. So what will be UK plan to further promote trade and export?
Okay. In terms of promoting, I think that a lot of it starts with relationships, and the relationships are good.
Yeah.
2018 is the 45th anniversary year for our diplomatic relations. The British Council, which works to improve in particular education links, celebrates its 25th year in the country. If I look at the meetings that I have had, this morning, for example, I met with Minister Ang, who is your minister in the MOIT.
Yeah.
We discussed the positive bilateral trade between our countries. He was also interested in our approach to the EV FTA, the Free Trade Agreement. And I re-emphasised that once the UK leaves the EU, we want to make sure that FTA moves and is copied so that we have a bilateral relationship with Vietnam, and we remain absolutely committed to the FTA. So that's one thing. The second is we use lots of promotion to try and encourage trade, and we use visits. So for example, in October this year, we will be bringing the Great British Festival of creativity to Vietnam. We will have two-day events, one weekend in Hanoi, one weekend in Ho Chi Minh City. And there we will be promoting creativity, education, technology, innovation. In the UK, we have some world-class businesses in those areas. That's how trade works. When people are wanting the goods and services you have, we want yours. We think you might want some of ours. And this afternoon, I was with your Minister of Education, and we were talking about what more we can do on the education side. And together we witnessed a signing of a memorandum of cooperation between the Business Council, the British Council, about online learning to try and help Vietnam succeed in its wonderful and ambitious plan to get 90% of the population speaking English as a second language. So we are standing ready, and we think that sort of relationship only furthers the way that both our countries develop.
Okay. So let's talk about the Prosperity Fund.
Mm-hmm.
Officially, the UK Prosperity Fund